Breaking news. The reason behind Max Verstappen's disappointing qualifying performance in Abu Dhabi revealed. Meanwhile, tensions are high in the Mercedes camp as Lewis Hamilton expressed his frustration after being eliminated in Q1, finishing in a shocking 18th place. McLaren's Lando Norris has hinted at a possible departure from the team after reportedly receiving a surprising offer from Max Verstappen. Welcome to F1 Real Time. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. Fresh off securing his fourth consecutive Formula One World Championship title in Las Vegas, Max Verstappen continued to demonstrate his dominance by clinching his ninth victory of the 2024 season at the Qatar Grand Prix. However, his aspirations for a strong finish to the year hit a roadblock during qualifying at the Yas Marina circuit, as the Red Bull driver found himself relegated to fourth on the starting grid for the season finale. Qualifying proved to be a challenge for Verstappen, who initially secured only the fifth fastest time. McLaren dominated the session, with Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri locking out the front row, underscoring the team's continued strength in the Constructors' Championship battle. Verstappen's first Q3 run was marred by a dramatic slide in the final corner, undoing any chance of a competitive lap time. His second attempt also fell short, leaving him trailing even Haas's Nico Hülkenberg, a rare sight in the 2024 season. However, a post-session penalty for Hülkenberg, who was found to have overtaken two cars in the pit lane, promoted Verstappen to fourth on the grid. As qualifying concluded, Verstappen's frustrations with the RB20 came to light in an untelevised exchange with his race engineer, Gianpiero Lambiase. In the team radio clip, Verstappen vented, "Wow shit, that was shit. There's no balance." Verstappen replied, "Yeah, but even though the car was super sensitive through everything. As soon as I opened the wheel a little bit earlier or later, snapping everywhere." Speaking to the media later, Verstappen elaborated on the car's struggles at Yas Marina, pointing out its inconsistency in medium to low-speed corners, a known weakness of the RB20. "The whole weekend, we've never found that sweet spot, unfortunately. Maybe we looked okay in Q1 and Q2, but that was because others were aborting their laps or running scrubbed tires while I was on new ones. In Q3, the car just wasn't planted. It's difficult to be consistent when you're fighting the car through every corner." Verstappen described his first Q3 run, during which he almost lost control. "At one point, I was facing towards the wall, and I thought, this could be quite spicy. That's obviously not ideal when you're trying to set a fast lap." The team made overnight adjustments to address the RB20's balance issues, but Verstappen admitted the track layout's characteristics exposed the car's vulnerabilities. "We've improved in medium to low-speed corners this season, but it's still a weakness," Verstappen said. "I adjusted the front wing for the second run, hoping it would help, but it just made things worse. Oversteer and understeer appeared in different corners, making it incredibly hard to string together a clean lap." Looking ahead to the race, Verstappen conceded that challenging McLaren for the win would be an uphill battle. Both Norris and Piastri have shown blistering pace all weekend, solidifying McLaren's position as favorites for the season finale. "I still think McLaren is too quick. They've been on it the whole weekend. This isn't like Qatar, where we could pull off a strong lap in qualifying and hang in there during the race. Here, they're just too far ahead." Verstappen's realistic target will likely be a podium finish, with Ferrari's Carlos Sainz his main rival. "I hope to race with Carlos, especially since Charles Leclerc will start from the back due to his engine penalty. There's also a spicy battle behind me for P6, so lap 1 could be interesting," Verstappen noted. Ferrari entered the Abu Dhabi weekend aiming to overturn McLaren's 21-point lead in the Constructors' Championship. However, their task became significantly harder with Leclerc's 10th-place grid penalty. Sainz's performance will be critical if Ferrari is to mount a late challenge. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton's last qualifying session as a Mercedes driver, marking the end of an extraordinary 12-year partnership, ended in bitter disappointment as the 7-time world champion was eliminated in Q1. Starting from the back of the grid, Hamilton faces a daunting challenge in what will be his final race with the team that defined an era of Formula One dominance. The shock Q1 exit was the result of a series of missteps and misfortunes. Mercedes gambled by sending Hamilton out on hard tires at the start of the session, a strategy that left him out of sync with the rest of the field. Despite showing promising pace and looking poised to outqualify teammate George Russell, a freak incident dashed Hamilton's hopes. As Kevin Magnussen's Haas moved aside to let Hamilton pass, it dislodged a bollard, which Hamilton struck, effectively ending his session. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff was quick to shoulder the blame for the debacle, issuing a heartfelt apology to Hamilton and the team. Speaking to media, Wolff didn't mince his words. "I just need to apologize to Lewis. Also to everyone in the team who worked so hard to give him a strong finish. He was the faster driver today, with the setup we chose to experiment for next year. We totally let him down. Idiotic mistake of not going earlier. Inexcusable, inexcusable. The usually composed Wolf was visibly emotional, describing the incident as one of the most disheartening moments in their long and storied partnership. Our most valuable racing driver ever, the greatest driver this sport has seen, knocked out in Q1 because we made a mistake. It doesn't tarnish the legacy we've built with him, but it's a bitter pill to swallow. I can only say sorry. Despite the crushing disappointment, Hamilton appeared remarkably composed as he addressed the media. There was no visible frustration or anger as he reflected on the session, instead displaying a philosophical approach. We did something different. We went out on the hard tire, which was an odd choice for qualifying. We were out of sequence with everyone else, and I was the last on track. Then I hit the bollard that a backmarker had knocked onto the track. Up until that point, I was matching George's pace, so yeah, it is what it is. Hamilton remained upbeat, focusing on the many highlights of his Mercedes tenure rather than dwelling on the session's outcome. With just 24 hours until his final race with Mercedes, Hamilton downplayed any sense of sadness or regret, instead expressing gratitude for the journey. I don't have any emotions. I'm pretty chill. I don't feel the pain. I'm just very present, enjoying every moment. The car has been feeling really great recently, and the setup changes we've made over the last 5 races have been transformative. This weekend especially, the car has felt fantastic. However, Hamilton admitted he had to reset his expectations for the Grand Prix following the qualifying mishap. The car's been strong overall, but we've struggled a bit this weekend. In FP3, I was 3rd, and honestly, I thought we could be fighting for a podium. My race pace was 2nd quickest, but it wasn't meant to be. Hamilton's focus now shifts to strategy as he prepares for what could be one of the most challenging races of his career. It's not going to be easy to overtake tomorrow. I'll be working on strategy now. Instead of fighting for a podium, it's about seeing how far I can get into the top 10. Meanwhile, Lando Norris is closing out his 6th season in Formula One with McLaren on a remarkable high. The young Briton took pole position for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, flanked by teammate Oscar Piastri, in a landmark achievement for the team. With both drivers locking out the front row, McLaren is now within striking distance of clinching their first Constructors' Championship in 25 years. Yet, the trajectory of Norris's career could have been very different. Speaking during the post-qualifying press conference, Norris revealed that he had turned down multiple offers from rival teams to stay loyal to McLaren. Norris entered Formula One as a rookie with McLaren in 2019, a team that, at the time, was far from championship contention. The journey from the midfield to battling at the front has been anything but straightforward. However, this season has marked a turning point for McLaren, as they have emerged as genuine contenders for race wins and the World Constructors' Championship. Oscar was really fortunate not to go through those first few years that we had. Those were some very fun years, but we didn't start off great. We've had to work incredibly hard to get to where we are now. Norris acknowledged the challenges of breaking into the exclusive group of top-performing teams. It was hard just to break that barrier of getting close to Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull. For such a long period, they've dominated Formula One. Now, not only have we broken that barrier, but we've risen to the top of it. Hopefully, we can go on to win. Norris was quick to credit McLaren's leadership team, including CEO Zak Brown and team principal Andrea Stella, for fostering an environment of growth and resilience. I don't think people give McLaren enough credit for what they've done. It's not an easy spot to turn things around. It may look simple from the outside, but it's far from it. The progress we've made has been incredible. Under Brown and Stella, McLaren has transformed into a competitive and cohesive unit. Norris highlighted how the team's positive culture has been pivotal in their rise. It's a slightly happier place than it was before, even during the tough times. The highs and lows have been emotional, but the longer rise to get to where we are has been fun. I've really loved it. Despite the allure of joining more competitive teams earlier in his career, Norris has remained steadfast in his commitment to McLaren.